Game development, move the ball. This is the second step out of the 10 of the game dev canvas tutorial. You can find the source code as it should look after completing this lesson at the game canvas workshop lesson2.html, and you can click this link, and this is the code. I'm gonna put it in the description. Okay, so you already know how to draw a ball from working through the previous article, so now let's make it move. Technically, we will be painting the ball on the screen, clearing it, and then painting it again in a slightly different position every frame to make it the impression of movement, just like how movement works with the movie. So defining a drawing loop. To keep constantly updating the canvas drawing on each frame, we need to define a drawing function that will run over and over again with a different set of variable values each time to change sprite positions, etc. You can run a function over and over again using a JavaScript timing function such as the setInterval function or the requestAnimationFrame function. Okay, so delete all the JavaScript you currently have inside your HTML file except for the first two lines and add the following below them. The draw function will be executed within setInterval every 10 milliseconds. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and we're gonna go to our folder that we have that, and if I remember it was this one, game dev. So I'm gonna just pretty much open on dev, right click, and then I'm just gonna type in code space that. Okay, so we have that. We're gonna close this one and this one too. Okay, so I am in Visual Studio Code, and okay, it says delete the whole thing except for the first two lines. So let me see, let me read it again. Okay, so here, delete all the JavaScript you currently have inside of your HTML file. So we don't have it in the HTML file, we have it in a JavaScript file. So I'm just gonna go into my HTML and right click and then open with live server. Okay, so there's nothing, so we just have this square because I deleted most of the code except for these two lines in the JavaScript file, so that's fine. Okay, let's see what else they have. Okay, so the draw function will be executed. Okay, so delete all this stuff. Okay, we're gonna have this function, function draw. Okay, so we're gonna go here and we're gonna create this function and we're gonna name it draw, open parentheses, and then open curly braces. And okay, so we're gonna have our code there, but outside of the function named draw, we're gonna have the setInterval. So it's gonna be the setInterval, and we already have it here. So function setInterval handle handler timeout argument. Okay, so all that. We're gonna open parentheses and we're gonna pass in this function that is, the name is draw, like this, and then we are just gonna pass in, it's gonna be like this, yeah, then. Okay, so and then semicolon at the end. Okay, so here, as they say, the draw function will be executed. So we are executing the draw function within the setInterval, every 10 milliseconds. So every 10 milliseconds. And yeah, so we have that up to this point. Okay, thanks to the infinite nature of setInterval, the draw function will be called every 10 milliseconds forever or until we stop it. Now let's draw the ball. Add the following inside your draw function. Okay, so we are gonna have some code inside of the draw function, so it's gonna be here, and we are gonna have pretty much, let me see, we're gonna have the CTX, and we have it here. So in line 2 we have this constant declaration named CTX, and now we're gonna use a method, and it's gonna be the begin path. Okay, so it's gonna be like the same begin path, just like the previous video. So begin path, and we're gonna pass some open parentheses. We can save it up to this point, nothing is gonna happen yet. Okay, so let me see, so begin path. Okay, so now we're gonna have the CTX, but this time we're gonna use the arc. Okay, and we're gonna pass in some values. So 50, 50, 10, 0 is gonna be 50 comma 50 comma 10 and then 0. So if we save it up to this point, we're gonna put more parameters, but if we save it, okay, so we still don't have anything. Okay, so so we need to fill it out and then close. Okay, we still, let's see, we have the mathematical equation. Is going to be math that high, and then we're gonna multiply it by 2. Okay, so multiply by 2, and there with a semicolon we're gonna use the ctx that field. So we're gonna use that method, field style, that field style with camel notation, and we're gonna set it to this. The hexadecimal number is gonna be number sign 0095, and then it's gonna be double D. Okay, so we can save it up to this point. Okay, that's fine. Now we're gonna use in the semicolon at the end, and then we're gonna have the ctx that field, and just parentheses, set of parentheses, and then to the next line we're just gonna have in the ctx that, let me see if I just save it, let me see real quick, nothing. So we're gonna have the ctx that what is close path, so it's gonna be the close path like this. And let me see, so close path. Okay, so now it's working. So so we have this function named draw, and we're using this constant declaration that we declare in line 2, the ctx, and we are starting with begin path and we are closing with close path, and in between we have the arc. So the arc meaning is gonna be a circle. So right now it doesn't seem like a circle, but if I refresh it, it's gonna look like one. So we have that, we have some parameters, 50, 50, 10, 0, and you can change. Let's say I want to change those two, for example, like this. I don't know, leave it like that. So obviously it has completely disappeared, so let's put it there again, save it, and there we have it. And you can change also the color. So let me see, I guess it was, I don't know, maybe double A, or you can come up with some. Okay, so I came up with this color here. Let's keep it original like that. Okay, so we have that up to this point. Try your updated code now. The ball should be repainted on every frame. So again, it doesn't look like a circle now, but if I refresh it, so it's gonna look like a circle. So yeah, making a move. You won't notice the ball being repainted constantly at the moment as it's not moving. Let's change that first. Instead of hard-coded position at 50-50, we will they're talking about this one. We will define a starting point at the bottom center of the canvas in variables called x and y. Then use those to define the position the circle is drawn at. So first add the following two lines above the draw function to define the variables x and y. So let me see, add the following lines above the draw function. So this is the draw function, we need to go above, we need to go here, and we're gonna have the let statement declaration. Let statement declaration, and we're gonna set the variable name x, we're gonna set it to canvas, and we're gonna use this method called width, like that, and we're gonna divide it by 2, like this, by 2, and then semicolon at the end. Let me see, that's fine. So canvas.width, and then canvas.height, and it's gonna be -30. So let me see, we're gonna have let y, and we're gonna set it to canvas.height. Let me see, canvas.height -30, semicolon at the end, and oops, it has to be canvas. Okay, so we have that up to this point. Okay, not much is changing, but we have these variables x and y, so canvas.width and also canvas.height. Okay, that's cool. Let's keep moving. Next, update the draw function to use the x and y variables in the arc method as shown in the following highlighted line. Okay, so they didn't highlight it, but okay, we have this function named draw, so we already have it here. Let me see, and we are gonna update the ctx that began path. That's fine. We have the arc, and okay, so we have 10, 0 path. Okay, so now instead of having this hardcore 50, we're just gonna have this variable declaration, this let declaration name x, and this variable declaration name y. So we have that instead of the 50-50. And let me see, okay, so it has moved, it went all the way down. Okay, so that's fine. What else do we have here? So We need to update something else. We have the arc. No, yeah, that's fine. That's the only thing that we need to update in our function draw. Okay, so let's keep moving. Now comes the important part. We want to add a small value to x and y after every frame has been drawn to make it appear that the ball is moving. Let's define these small values as dx, yeah, and dy, and set their values to 2 and -2 respectively. Add the following below your x and y variable definition. So again, we're gonna go here and just pretty much we're gonna have the let dx. So this is pretty much similar to calculus. I mean, that's not calculus, but they're using this, the name of this variable. So we have let dx, we are setting it to 2 semicolon at the end, and then let y dy, and we are gonna set it to -2 semicolon at the end. Let me see if that's right. Yeah, that's right. And nothing is gonna happen because we didn't update it, and we haven't updated it yet in the function draw. So probably we're gonna do it in the next one, probably somewhere here. So the last thing to do is update x and y with our dx and dy variable on every frame, so the ball will be painted in the new position on every update. Add the following 2 lines indicated below to your draw function. So let me see. So we are not updating it here. We are gonna so we are gonna use the addition assignment operator, okay, and it's gonna go we're gonna end it with a semicolon, the ctx that close path. So after the ctx that close path, we are gonna have the dx. So we are gonna have x, addition assignment operator, dx this time, okay, semicolon at the end, and then y, then addition assignment operator, and then it's gonna be dy. So we have 4 variables in total: the variable x, addition assignment operator, the variable dx, and then the variable y, addition assignment operator, and the variable dy. So we can save it to this point, and yeah, we have this ball moving, but as you can see, is leaving a trace behind. So we're gonna work on it. So but if I refresh it, so this is pretty much what we have up to this point. And again, just a simple reminder, this is a comment. So pretty much we have x, and this one, the addition assignment operator, it'll be the same as saying x is gonna be assigned to x plus the variable dx. So the variable x is going to be assigned to the variable x plus the variable dx, and pretty much the same would be said for the second one, for this one. So it'll be something like this, right? The variable y is going to be set to the variable y plus the variable dy. So yeah, we have that. Let's keep moving. Okay, so we have that up to this point. And save your code again and try in your browser. This works okay, although it appears that the ball is leaving a trail behind it. So we have that. So they only gave us a picture, but that's fine. Clearing the canvas before each frame. The ball is leaving a trail because we're painting a new circle on every frame without removing the previous one. Don't worry, because there's a method to clear canvas content: the clear rectangle or just the clear rect. This method takes 4 parameters: the x and y coordinates of the top left corner of a rectangle, and the x and y coordinates of the bottom right corner of a rectangle. The whole area covered by this rectangle will be clear of any content previously painted there. Add the following highlighted new line to the draw function. So we have this function named draw, and now we are gonna have let me see. So everything is pretty much the same, except that we are gonna add this new line of code. Okay, so begin, path, that's fine, arc, yeah, everything is the same. Okay, so right here, just before the ctx that begin the path, we are gonna have the, let me see, we are gonna have the ctx that clear x. So it's gonna be ctx that, let me see if I don't know, no, clear rectangle. So like that, yeah, and we're gonna pass in this parameter 0, 0, and then it's gonna be canvas, and it's gonna be that width like that, and we're gonna pass in as a as a 4 parameter is going to be canvas.height. So it's going to be canvas.height like this. So we have that up to this point, semicolon at the end of this statement. And let me see, as you can see, this is what we have. So we have this ball, but it's not bouncing off. So this is what we are working so far. This is what we are able to achieve so far, but we're going to continue, keep moving. Okay, so save your code and try it again. This time you'll see the ball move without a trail. Every 10 milliseconds the canvas is clear. The blue circle, our ball will be drawn on a given position, and the x and y values will be updated for the next frame. Cleaning up our code, we will be adding more and more commands to the draw function in the next few articles, so it's good to keep it as simple and clean as possible. Let's start by moving the ball drawing code to a separate function. Replace the existing draw function with the following function. So let me see, we have replace the existing draw function. So I mean, we need to replace this whole function here with the following two functions. So let me see, with the function draw and draw ball. So yeah, we can just copy and paste it. Let's just keep it. Okay, I'm just gonna delete this part. Yeah, whatever, I'm just gonna delete it and copy and type it again. This one is gonna be named function draw ball, so it's gonna be function draw ball, open parentheses, and then curly braces, and that's fine. So we're gonna have the ctx that, and it's gonna be begin path like that. We're gonna open parentheses, okay, semicolon at the end. Then we're gonna have the ctx, and we are gonna have the arc, and we're gonna pass inside of the arc, we're gonna pass in these parameters x, y, 10, comma 0, comma we're gonna have math.pi, and then multiply by 2, semicolon at the end. Save it. Let me see, we're done, we're fine. So ctx that fill style, and we're gonna set it to okay, so it's gonna be 0095 double d, semicolon at the end, and then ctx that fill method, semicolon at the end. Let me see, okay, we have that. And finally the ctx that close path, so close path. Okay, so semicolon at the end, that's fine. So let me see, what do we have here? Okay, nothing else. We'll have, let me see, draw ball, and it has to be like this, draw ball semi. Okay, so let me see, begin path, close path, fill style. Just making sure everything is here, math.py. Okay, that's fine. So this is our first function, and then our second function, which if you want you can just copy and paste, but let's just, okay, it's gonna be function draw, and this is pretty much the function that we have inside of the set interval, open parentheses, open curly braces, and again we're gonna have the ctx, and we're gonna use the clear rect, and we're gonna have in 0, 0, and we're gonna have the canvas, the width, and then we're gonna have the canvas that height, like that. Okay, semicolon at the end, and then we are gonna have we are gonna call this function name draw ball. Okay, so we just call it like this, and let's just take a look for now. Okay, it's in there but it's not moving. Okay, that's fine. Let me see, so we have the ctx that clear rectangle, 0, 0, canvas width, canvas height, draw ball. Okay, that's fine. And then finally we're gonna have the variable x, addition assignment operator, the variable dx, and finally we're gonna have the variable y, addition assignment operator, the variable dy, semicolon at the end, and there we have it. So it's moving around. Let me see if the whole code is right, if I didn't miss anything clear. That's fine. Canvas, okay, that's fine. Okay, compare your code. You can check out the finished code for this article for yourself and the live demo below. So this is where you can compare your code. So we have the JavaScript, the HTML. Okay, so this is our final product. So we have this up to this point. If you refresh it, but it's not, this ball is not bouncing, but we have it over here. So that's what we have for the move element of the game development.